That gospel reading was the abridged version today. It does go on a bit longer in the interactions between the Pharisees questioning the man and his parents, as many of you would be familiar. So I encourage you to read the full version if you wish, and it goes through to verse 41 when you get home. Now I'm going to be inviting Erin forward. It's a great privilege and a joy as part of our mission month to be inviting our different local partners forward. So mission partners. Erin Graham is the guidance officer at Kawungan State School, and she shared her message this morning, and it was a wonderful message. So I look forward to hearing her message again. But Erin, thank you very much.
Thank you for welcoming me back. As introduced by Father Greg, my name is Erin Graham and I'm the Guidance Officer at Kawungan State School. I've worked for the Queensland Department of Education for 22 years now, and while there has always been a need for empathy, kindness and care, I can attest that in our current times, those virtues have never been more needed than now. As I shared with you last year, Kawungan State School is the largest primary school in Hervey Bay. We have a student body of approximately 900 students. This breaks down to approximately 680 families. Prior census data informs us that of those 680 families, 72.8% have an employed household member, 41% are single-parent families, and 5.6% are blended families. Our own data informs us that 21% of our student population has a disability, 2% of our students are wards of the state through the Department of Child Safety, and we currently have a number of individual students who have open cases with child safety where investigation is underway regarding their safety within their homes. I can also share that there continues to be a significant rise in the amount of grandparents, aunts, uncles and older siblings who are caring and providing for our students without any additional support or monetary assistance through private or government agency. It is no secret that the cost of living continues to rise, and one only has to look to local news services to recognise the detrimental impact this is having in our community. 2021 census data tells us that 44% of our parent community earn between $500 to $1,249 weekly. For those fortunate to obtain housing, the average weekly rental payments range from $350 to $450 a week, and average monthly mortgage repayments range between $1,200 to $2,199. We have noted that we currently have more and more families residing with one another due to the current housing crisis in the Bay, alongside with the increases in the cost of living. As with previous years, the strain on families has contributed greatly to see domestic violence and substance abuse within our community continue to rise on the back of COVID-19. At Kawungan, we continue to have more and more cases being reported to us where children have experienced significant trauma through witnessing domestic violence or experiencing significant neglect. The impact that this has on a young mind's development and future life opportunities is sobering. As I mentioned last year, my role within the school sees me working with our most vulnerable students and their families. I can stand here and attest to you all that each year I am assisting more and more families as life presents unexpected twists and turns. I can also assure you that no child wants to be seen as different from their peers, and trust me, if any of the aforementioned circumstances happen to them, they are painfully aware that they are different. Unfortunately, for a lot of these children, the abnormal becomes their normal. They dodge and duck their way through each day. They present as behaviour issues, inexplicitly angry, socially isolated, never present in the moment, low academic achievers, anxious, depressed, withdrawn, or attention-seeking. What they require most in the world is kindness and a safe refuge, but for some, this is too much. For them and their circumstance, they have learned that life is hard, unyielding, cruel. They are afraid to trust and horrifically begin to form the belief that they are not a worthy being. It is a sobering and unfortunate circumstance that more and more of our student body are having to face. Data is an interesting thing. One can choose to view it negatively or positively. It is easy to focus on the negative and much harder to identify the positive. Though I've shared with you some stark, sobering facts, not all is doom and gloom. There is light and opportunity in every day that is presented to us. At Kawungan, our staff have a strong, ingrained ethos in the well-being of every child and in providing opportunities for each and every one of them to have a safe and caring environment that nurtures and encourages them to try their very best and flourish. That as soon as they step through our gates, they are wanted, valued, and safe. Schools are a reflection of the community they serve. I'm incredibly proud to be able to stand here and say that I serve Kawungan State School, so much so that my own children attend there. The adversity I have highlighted to you today does not define us. In all my years of education, I've never experienced a more prouder and supportive state school community than Kawungan. We rally behind each other and lift one another up. When one falls, many come to help them stand. We move forward as one. Our music, sporting, academic excellence, intensive support, inclusion practice and wellbeing programs are well regarded amongst our peers and provide opportunity for all students to try something different and to excel to the best of their capabilities. I am sure many of you have experienced that life can throw at you the most unexpected of curveballs, that what you may have hoped for will not be. That loss and adversity can occur at any time without rhyme or reason, and you find yourself in situations that you never ever thought would occur to you. These moments do not define us, but form a chapter in our lives, one from which we hopefully grow. It has been my experience that parents only want the best for their children, that you only know what you know. I'm yet to meet a perfect human. We all have flaws and weaknesses, but ultimately we all want to do what is right and live a life of meaning. It is brave to speak up and identify that you need help, particularly if your life situation brings with it a shame that society as a whole has placed upon it. Speaking up when you know you cannot provide for your child takes extreme courage, as does accepting help when you have not asked for it, but know deep down that your child and family require it. The opportunities that you yourselves collectively have provided to our families through your mission project have brought light to the lives of your immediate community in their hour of need. Because of you, we have been able to continue to assist numerous families with school uniforms, shoes, backpacks, lunchboxes, drink bottles, and school uniform supplies. Those children assisted do not need to worry that someone will comment on their appearance or lack of belongings. You've helped them to alleviate their fears of being identified as different. Because of you, we've been able to continue to fund our lunch program for those children who do not come with school lunches, eliminating hungry tummies and enabling minds to focus on their work. Because of you, 2 of our families with caregivers fighting terminal cancer diagnosis are able to send their children to school camp solely because of the funds you have donated. I can tell you now they are extremely thankful for this ray of light on otherwise dark days. Because of you, grocery vouchers have been able to be provided to another family where both caregivers have had to cease their jobs and relocate to hospital housing in Brisbane while their child accesses treatment at the Children's Hospital for a rare form of blood cancer. They're extremely grateful for your generosity. The funding you have provided us continues to enable us to assist families escaping domestic violence with emergency supplies. Numerous grocery vouchers have also been provided to families to assist with food bills so that their children can have dinner. Other families have been enabled to provide their children with the opportunity to attend school excursions, sporting events, and music workshops. I can assure you that a lot of thought is given as to who receives assistance through your mission funding. The money you have gifted to our school provides us with an incredible opportunity to assist people in a subtle and respectful manner. People who are often very proud, but find themselves in situations that they never thought would occur to them. People who only want the best for their children. People who need assurance that though life has shown them a dark element, there are others in the world, like yourselves, who help with no expectation of anything in return. Sparking the flame that, It is everyone's responsibility, in their own small way, to make the world a better place. For their children, you are gifting opportunity. Opportunity and faith that there are kind, trusting people who can enable you to experience a different life, not bound by the constraints of your circumstance. A sense of hope and perspective that ultimately provides them with a guiding light, and in taking the tentative steps towards the belief that they are worthy, they are not forgotten, they are seen for who they truly are, not for what life has thrust upon them. That these acts of kindness they will recall upon and pay forward themselves through a smile, a helping hand, a renewed faith that there is kindness within the world. From the bottom of my heart and on behalf of Kawungan State School, thank you for assisting us in making the world a better place for our students.
So, Erin, thank you. Erin knows that what's coming next because I mentioned at 7 o'clock. But as a part of our ongoing ministry and support of the work that you do and your team does at the Rockface, helping families, we have a cheque made out on behalf of the parish, which is again going towards supporting those families, members of our community in need.
Thank you.
So thank you for what you do.
Very, very
This is, last week you'll recall we had Joe Wright present from Fraser Coast Anglican College. It's a privilege to have Erin Graham from Kawungan State School present and to share with us the ministry that is going on in Hervey Bay and how we can be part of it. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again over and over again. It is not just about writing a cheque and being done and saying, well, we've bought ourselves a sense of peace. We're making a difference. That's transactional ministry. That's an old model of ministry. The decision we made a number of years ago to shift towards transformational ministry is based on relationship, and relationship flows two ways. Now, yes, money is required, and the financial contribution that we as a parish make does make a difference to families in need. But what's also really important are hands and feet on the ground. I had a brief chat with Erin after the 7 o'clock service, and there are opportunities for volunteers to assist present on the ground at the school. And there are some ministries and activities that can't go ahead. There's a desire for them to happen, but they can't go ahead, not because of lack of funding, but because of lack of volunteers. So I put that to you to consider. If God is calling you to be involved, and as I said before, if you have a pulse and your breath is warm, God is not done with you. There are opportunities to be involved. Have a chat with Erin afterwards. Find out what maybe you can do. Maybe you feel that you can't do one thing, but Erin might say, but there are these other opportunities. But it is volunteering, being the hands, being the feet. As Lauren said in the kids' talk, doing. Love is an action, it's a verb. So what is God calling you to be and to do in our community on a local level? I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you, Erin. Please pass on our sincere thanks to your team and the community that is actually making a difference in so many people's lives as part of building up the kingdom. All right.